In astrology, Venus represents our love style, what we value and what we find pleasurable and attractive. So, when looking at your birth chart or someone else's, if you want to know how they are in love, you want to look at their Venus sign placement. So, for this video, I'm going to talk about Venus in Aries, which is my natal Venus sign. Venus and Aries people tend to be the most direct and straightforward about matters of the heart, sex, and relationships in general. They can be very forward, and sometimes even so much so that they can be lacking in tact, in the way that they express themselves socially. And that's actually a part of their charm. They have like a naivety and a playfulness and childlike innocence when it comes to love and sex and relationships, where they really just wear their heart on their sleeve. And even if other factors in their natal chart would show shyness, this placement of Venus does tend to be more outgoing in matters of the heart. And they usually, if they have a crush on someone or they like someone, they would have a really hard time not letting the person know. So they can be some of the more flirtatious of the Venus signs. In some cases, they can be some of the more promiscuous of the Venus signs. So when we have Venus coming through Mars' sign of Aries, the sex drive is usually going to be quite high and quite easily turned on fairly quickly. And that's something that we can notice with people with Venus in Aries is their love nature activates quite quickly. So these are the kind of people that can fall in love at first sight. Now, on the more negative side, we're going to see people that also can sometimes fall out of love just as quickly and want to move on to the next shiny new thing or person that has excited them. So this placement can be known for being kind of a heartbreaker, because the love that they felt in the moment of passion, can fade when it is no longer exciting. Now, you have to look at everything, right? Like in their natal chart, they could have Venus in aspect to Saturn or something that would slow this down a bit. And also, with age and maturity, they will realize what they need in love. So what they actually need in love to stay interested is someone who is exciting. Maybe even someone where they don't fully know if they've got them. So the Venus placement of Aries can sometimes like the feeling of a conquest, of a challenge, okay? So for them to stay in love, though, if the person that they're with is exciting and fiery and, maybe not always around all the time, that can be a really good thing as well. But also at an even higher level, for the Venus and Aries person to be successful in love and marriages, because this is a more difficult placement of Venus. This is Venus in its detriment. So it does take some learning, right? We are here to learn this lesson of love, of being more balanced and more patient. Love is patient, love is kind. That doesn't always come naturally with people with Venus and Aries. So what I was saying, though, is if they have other passions in their life beyond their love nature, like if they can feel exciting in their life with, what they're passionate about, with Venus and Aries people, it might be something daring. It could be something athletic. If they're really getting out there in other areas of their life, they can be more stable in their relationships as well. And they can be the partner that keeps the fire alive in love, right? Like they never will let their marriage get boring, because they're so full of enthusiasm and spark, and they can really keep the sex going, keep the passion going, keep the pleasure going, and be, really fun and daring and flirty over an extended period of time. if they have other passions in their life, that can keep them activated. So these people find pleasure in a challenge, in sex. That's a big part of a Venus and Aries personality, is the sex act. And it doesn't have to be like a long, slow, intimate thing. These people are the more animalistic sort. They like to just go and get it done. And even the women don't like to wait around too long to get that business going. This Venus placement hates waiting for all things. So they can be quite quick with that. They could, other partners could complain that maybe they're not sensitive enough or vulnerable enough with actual sharing of feelings. It's more just like the heated, lustful passion in the moment that they feel more strongly. But with other placements in their chart, they can become more emotional and more giving and more vulnerable. Because really, when we have Venus in Aries, the first sign, we can actually see someone, although they appear to be very confident, and they do, on some level, they do have a high level of self-esteem, but with matters of the heart and love, behind all this bravado and fighting energy and impulsive sexuality, there's someone who knows that maybe love and giving and tenderness doesn't come naturally to them, because of this fighting spirit and this, Venus being in detriment on some level. They know that, these matters of the heart, this is one of their challenges. And so they are sensitive on some level. They do realize that they're here to learn this. And that's where a lot of this aggressiveness can be coming from, is that, Venus in the sign of Aries is the baby. Aries is the baby. They're learning this love thing. They're learning how to actually relate to a partner as an equal and not just a conquest to be one, right? Like, so they're learning that love doesn't have to be a battlefield. Love can be settled and still be exciting and fun. Another amazing thing about this Venus placement would also be their huge creativity, because we do have this powerful sexuality and powerful sexual energy. So what is that beyond just physical sex? It's creativity. These people are hugely creative, and they can have a style and a presence that is very noticed by others. They do have like an animal sexual magnetism. That's something that Jeffrey Wolf Green says in one of his relationships books about the Venus signs. Venus and Aries people have this animalistic sexual magnetism because they have such a strong sexual energy. They actually magnetize people to them because of it. Now, they can also magnetize people to them that want to use them solely for sex. But upon further inquiry, it's usually because the Venus and Aries person sees people as kind of like a sex object or a conquest as well. So once they overcome that and begin to actually connect with like a more Libran energy, a more harmonious, balanced, loving energy, they're going to attract partners who will love their whole soul as well. So this placement is challenging. It is really about learning to become less selfish in love and in sex, and also to truly like learn the meaning of love. It's not just me first. It's not just about lust and passion and conquest. It's about giving. And once the Venus and Aries person knows that, they can be some of the most giving lovers, because here's the thing, they don't hold back and they don't have fear of rejection because it's Venus and Aries. When they want someone, they will tell them exactly why. They will tell you all your good qualities, and they can be very generous in the giving of praise and affection and even actual gifts as well. This placement can become very generous because with Venus in the sign of Aries, there is an energy of no holding back and just laying it all on the line and having a very outgoing, aggressive sexual presence that can be very attractive. Venus and Aries people are known to be hot.